taking the opportunity to value what someone maybe has learned from experience or life lived, and what that brings to their role. And so one of the through lines that I think I noticed in things that you've talked about over the years is hiring for a particular type of human who had not only shared values with you, but like they behaved in a particular type of way and saw things in a certain way. Can you talk a little bit about what those things were and why they were so critical for your organization to be successful and collaborative?
I think hiring is obviously a huge part of it. Maybe the most important, because when people used to say, what's the biggest challenge about growing a business? And without question, it's finding, developing, and retaining the best people. As far as that, I think it's not about what school you went to and living in Manhattan and dealing with the private schools and the colleges that everyone wants to get to. People think it's all about that. No.
Yeah.
It's not about that. We had our share of people we hired. We hired many, many people over the years, and we had plenty of turnover because we made many mistakes. And sometimes it was asking people to work too many hours without a break, and we thought we'd just give them more money, they'd be okay. No, people needed a life. They needed not to have complete burnout. But we brought in people from different schools. You needed a threshold level of kind of intelligence and capability. But then it was about energy. It was about ambition. It was about personality. Traits that are empathy. And then it's about curiosity. And I mentioned curiosity because I think people who are curious about people and curious about how to do better and curious about what's going on in the world and, all of that. And so those were the traits that I was looking for and learned over the years, largely by trial and error. It wasn't about their resume. Oh, and then people above all who had jobs like we talked about. You working from the time you were 8 years old. People who had worked hard, through high school, through college, people who paid for their college education. That was extremely, a lot of us didn't. And so I wouldn't hold that against people if they did other wonderful things like worked and all of that. But the point is, people with the work ethic, the ambition, the curiosity, those were the traits we were looking for. And then the team orientation, and of course, some of that you need a few interviews to get to. But one of my favorite mentors says, hire slowly, fire quickly, which is sometimes you need a number of meetings to really know what you're dealing with, because a lot of people can sound pretty impressive in that first or second interview, but you really have to know what are they about as a person.